These days, the textile and clothing sector faces important environmental, social and economic challenges. How can the cultural and creative sectors provide innovative solutions to the textile and clothing industry? CreativeWear is an inter-reg med project aimed at revitalising the crisis-ridden textile and clothing sector through the regional creative potentialities. CreativeWear has tested 5 creative hubs that experiment different ways of supporting cooperation between creative and cultural industries and textile and clothing companies. But what are the key market evidences discovered during the CreativeWear project? Have the expectations and goals of the project been met? And what recommendations arise for policymakers and regional specialisation strategies? The CreativeWear pilots have encompassed a growing number of textile and clothing and creative and cultural industries organisations, amply exceeding initial expectations. Creative and cultural industries have embraced this experimental process much more enthusiastically than textile and clothing sector. The 5 hubs have hosted a total of 104 local and international initiatives, articulated through 44 joint projects involving textile and clothing and creative and cultural industries. How have these sectors interacted? Textile and clothing organisations are still discovering how to innovate in creative ways. Creative and cultural industries are clearly aware of the business opportunities offered by value-adding partnerships with other productive sectors. The most consolidated services in relation to a creative-based innovation model were prototyping services, training in creative competencies, and use of symbolic territorial resources. However, other relevant services that didn't get enough attention were internationalisation, customisation, and new funding avenues. What has been the impact of the CreativeWear hubs in the existing regional innovation systems? CreativeWear has involved different stakeholders from the regional innovation system. Thus, the key stakeholders according to their relevance, commitment, and openness to change are private cultural institutions, research centres, local public administrations, and universities. However, national and regional public actors have been more reticent to engage. Institutional changes require long-term planning. The exchange of innovative services between textile and clothing and creative and cultural industries does not occur naturally, necessitating the intermediation of creative hubs as catalysts. Creative hubs should play a dual role as promoters of textile and clothing creative-based innovation demand and suppliers of creative and cultural industries. Simply put, creative hubs should bridge this emergent market with the regional innovation stakeholders and capitalise the process through its inclusion into public policies. Specifically, the main strategic hub functions should include training and research, communication strategies, territorial coordination, fundraising, and internationalisation. CreativeWear hubs should be the triggers of regional change processes to obtain new regional innovation policies, which could be articulated as bonuses to textile companies, taxes and other incentives, and public sector as facilitator. Innovation is the key to find new solutions. Keep up with the CreativeWear hubs and find out how the future of textile and clothing industry will be developed.